Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na.
Boom.
Welcome to another D5 podcast. Me and Jeremiah are in the house. How you doing, Jeremiah?
What's up? What's up?
We're gonna take up from where me and Billy King left off the other night, and keep going down the standings. But we're gonna keep using the December 4th standings that me and Billy King were using, because otherwise we'll just repeat teams. But obviously, the tankings, the standings have changed since then. So I'm just going to go and refer back to December 6th, which is what we're up to date with. But we're down to Josh Barber's Brooklyn Nets. Just looking at the rosters for them, there's not a lot going on this year. They got a lot of players under contract. I wonder. I guess Josh has got bird rights on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. So I reckon he'll re-sign him because Josh seems to love Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
I like him too. But I would say that they're sort of this year's version of the Cleveland Cavaliers of last year. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are this year's version of the Cleveland Cavaliers again. So I don't know how they're doing that with those ratings, but
No, nor why Danny Green is like superstar. The stats he's putting up are crazy. We were talking about that last time.
It's kind of funny because like it's nice to see some competitive spirit involved from some teams that people would probably like if I had the Cavs, I would probably be tanking. But the competition to tank, like I thought I would be at the bottom. Like even with my 84 Towns and just like no, I'm pushing for a
your
playoff
team.
spot. Yeah, I'm pushing for a playoff
what's going on with your team this year. I mean, I wonder whether like the sim really overrates really talented big men. Because everybody says Dirk is like amazing in the sim. He is, or he was. And if I wonder whether Towns is going to take over that role. Maybe that's why the Cavs are doing so well with Kristaps in that role as well.
I think it's really
just one big man and kick ass. Sorry, go.
That really might be the kind of the blueprint. I mean, you did it with Garnett.
Yeah.
I have Towns in there doing stuff. I mean, we see that even Dallas is hanging out there, just with like the corpse of Nowitzki carrying along.
The corpse.
Like he's bad now.
Yeah.
I don't get it. He's not good anymore, but he'll like throw up a 20-point game versus. He throws them up only versus young guys that we're watching. So like it gives the impression like, oh, he still got it. Like he still got it, but like he's using old man tricks on like rookies and then like throws up a good game, and then the rest of the time he's shooting 30%.
I haven't watched a Dallas game this year, so I don't know. But I'd kind of like to watch it just as for a sense of morbid fascination. I think because watching Dirk at the moment is probably pretty depressing. I imagine.
I'm trying to remember if the Cavs played them, because I watch basically almost as many Cavs games as I can, and I don't know if we played them, and if we did, if maybe Dirk was out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Looking back to Brooklyn, I mean, Josh has been trying to trade Rodney Hood recently because, I mean, I think the only reason he's got Rodney Hood in the lineup instead of Devin Booker is because in the sim at the moment, Devin Booker has a slightly lower rating than Rodney Hood. But obviously, like that's some pretty good young wings to be, or no, shooting guards rather, to stick on, to have a bit of a logjam there, and he's trying to clear it, I think.
Well, I mean, Rodney Hood.
It makes sense
Devin
to go
Booker,
with Booker, I guess.
It sort of does. I mean, I didn't really like Rodney Hood to begin with, like as a rookie. He doesn't really seem to offer much other than just like average 3-point shooting, but he has the moniker of he's a shooter.
Mhm.
But he's doing well. He's doing better than I thought he would.
He kind of reminds me of Harrison Barnes a bit, Rodney Hood.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Just sort of, he never. I mean, actually, Harrison Barnes has done really well this year on the Mavs, but like,
Oh yeah.
I just don't think like if he's the leader of the team, then that team probably is not making the playoffs.
No, I mean same like Harrison Barnes, the leader of that team this year, and he's just sort
Yeah.
of like, he's done a lot better than I expected, but he doesn't really move the needle for them at all either, though. So
Mm. I totally slept on Devin Booker in the draft when he, what was he, 2015? I just thought, no way is he going to be any good. He just looked
yeah.
too sort of one-dimensional. But I mean, what if you get a guy that can shoot as well as that? That's all you need, really, isn't it?
Well, I mean, especially because this it is a simulation. It's not like he needs to be out there because basketball IQ's on like on display or something in the sim. It's gonna calculate. He's got a good 3-point shot, so he's gonna make those at least. So even if he were to stay at a 76, he'd still be useful.
Yeah. Looking at the league leaders that I posted today for December 6th, the Nets have got Jahlil Okafor and Reggie Jackson and they're like top scorers. Actually, that's the two top scorers, and they're both averaging over 20 points a game, which is quite interesting. So that's those two are kind of the leaders of that team.
Let me see. I gotta go. Okay.
I extended it so that you can see the top 30 scorers and top 15 of everything else. So
I mean, if we look at his team, Rodney Hood is giving him 12 points a game. Reggie Jackson and Jahlil Okafor are doing good. I wonder where's what's his face at.
so
Willie
great
Cauley
'cause he's sitting on the
Willie Cauley
bench.
Stein. Willie Cauley Stein. I thought he was starting. I guess not.
No,
But
yeah, he's got? Let me see. Who's he got
he's
starting?
got
Plumlee,
Plumlee.
that's it.
I mean, they're rebounding like
Miles.
crazy. Michael Gilchrist is almost averaging a double-double.
He's got some good depth as well, does Josh. He's got Sabonis, and he's got Willie Cauley-Stein and Devin Booker, of course. Yeah, a couple of good guys coming off the bench. Good young
He's
team,
certainly
and I
not.
think
He's certainly not
I'd be
losing anything on
surprised
it.
if. I think they're going to be a low seed playoff team this year. I mean, they're at 7 right now as it is. It seems logical they sort of hover around there this year by the looks of things.
I mean, I don't see any. Everybody else is quite a few games back after Indiana. I mean, now
Yeah,
that
true.
can change very easily, but there's only one of those teams that really I think is on that should have made a leap, and that's Orlando, and they haven't really done anything. Kind of sucks for them, but
Yeah, Gobert. Gobert's come up for them, and Dennis Schroeder and
oh
people like that.
yeah, they're just waiting on their rating increases. Like Gobert, like I hated him last year. Like I really don't like. I really didn't like
You
him.
don't like him? Oh,
I
I think
didn't.
he's great.
I watched him again this year. That dude's a beast now.
Yeah, man.
Like he's not just blocking shots anymore. Like that dude's good. He's real good.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have Embiid, I'd totally be trying to target Rudy Gobert. I love that guy. He's great.
Well, like it's kind of interesting the way that NBA is going now. It's like I was talking about this with my dad earlier. Is that we have big men, like
Yeah, the Bucks.
like 6 or 7 of them that are young and they're good and they're like actually good at basketball. Like it's not just like big tall guys who don't really do anything. Like DeAndre Jordan, he dunks and he's big. Like
His blocks. He's amazing. I
yeah,
think since
but that's
he was
all
at the
he
Olympics,
does.
he's sort of matured as a player as well. He's almost like I would almost take him over Blake Griffin now.
Who DeAndre?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I think he's great.
no, he's great at what he does, but like he's not a complete player in the way like Towns or Kristaps or Embiid or anybody like that is. Like
True.
those, like even Gobert has an offensive game. DeAndre Jordan doesn't really have one at all, but like he is a very important player for that team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, kind of like how Tristan Thompson's not that great, but he's probably the linchpin holding that team together defensively. just because of the role that he plays.
They'd be screwed in the middle if they didn't have him, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they lost Birdman for the year, and they're just kind of sitting there going, what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah.
So next up, we've got the Houston Rockets, who were at 14 when we started the podcast for the day. Currently, are still at 14, 9-8. Let's have a look. I think I can hear myself coming through your speaker, but I think
Really, I have a headset on.
Chuck's been kind of lucky in this one. Well, whether he would admit it or not, he's picked up Giannis and he's got Eric Gordon just at the times that these guys decided to become absolute beasts.
Yeah.
And I was looking through, like, say again.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's like the hero of the league this year. I think he's got it. I mean, maybe he'll win Most Improved. He's that good. He's incredible.
He's playing really good in the sim too. I mean, everything looks like what it should be. His 3-pointer is kind of a little off, just like it is in real life. And then he's doing the almost 2 blocks and a steal. I mean, what more can you ask for?
PMs. I've got 6 different trade threads where I've tried to get Giannis off of Charles Barkley since 30th of June 2014. I've really been trying. Oh no, wait! One of them is him telling me to correct Giannis's height because he grew. But hang on. Yeah, I really tried to get him.
I don't think there's a team in the league that hasn't at least thrown an offer at him.
Yeah, and then he's got Kevin Love in there as well, who's getting most of the points as well. And
the thing is,
TJ Warren's kind of coming to his own as well.
Eric Gordon in real life is playing his ass off.
Yeah,
like
he's shooting just as many threes as Steph Curry at the moment.
Yeah, he's really good now. And that's another player I hated. I didn't like I thought what he did to New Orleans was kind of dirty, requesting a trade and then being, in quotations, injured for basically two whole years until he got to move to a different team.
That was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he's good playing next to James Harden. And James Harden is really is really a point guard now. They're playing him exclusively at the point now.
It's D'Antoni, really. I mean, D'Antoni wouldn't be playing Harden at the point. I mean, if it was a different coach, Harden would not be playing the point. But because there's Mike D'Antoni there, he is playing the point, and as a result, the entire team looks amazing.
Exactly. It's kind of
making my guy Montrezl Harrell look really good.
He's making him look like a baby Stoudemire.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking he looks like it reminds me of like Ben Wallace if Ben Wallace could score.
Hey, I mean that's a really good player.
Nowhere near as good defense, mind you, but
no.
that's impossible.
My team is beat his butt like every time we've played so far, I think.
Yeah, I beat the Rockets.
I think he's like half of my wins. Like, I think I've already played him like 3 times. Thanks a lot for ruining the tank.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, I think and my team beat the Rockets today, and I would. I mean, Giannis is yet to get his rating increase, but still, I mean, I'm surprised they're not doing better than they are actually. Although they are in the West, I guess. But
his team it seems to lose to the teams that it's not supposed to. If that makes any sense, like they're just like they just take a dump every time they play like a lower team, and I mean. Maybe it's a matchup thing. I mean, I think I have Karl Towns playing center, and he's playing against Biyombo, who is rated well with blocks and stuff. But I mean, that means that Towns doesn't really have to do anything.
Yeah. So next team is kind of like the opposite of Houston. So Houston and Chuck, he's kind of, well, I mean, you can say either lucky or you predicted it. I mean, it's not hard to predict, I guess, that Giannis was going to keep improving. But I mean, I don't know if anybody saw him getting this good. I definitely didn't think he'd be this good. But the Clippers have kind of got the opposite end of the stick because their team is getting older and not getting much better.
Well, I mean, I know that Iguodala and Anthony both have lower threads, and Monroe has a lower thread, and Anthony Parker, somebody could probably throw one in. I'm not going to do it. I still like it, Tony Parker, but I mean, there are arguments there. I think there's a
Yeah.
lower thread in for Bogut. There's probably one for David West. I mean,
yeah, and
I think
Mike
he sort of saw
Krzyzewski
it.
has got the huge payroll as well.
I think he sort of saw it though, because he traded Blake Griffin away, and he got Gorgie Dang and a couple
You got
a
Monroe
couple
in that
younger
trade.
guys.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sucks that he did that, and then now Monroe is a role player off the bench for Milwaukee, not really doing much at all.
Yeah, he's kind of not nosedive, but he's not anywhere near as kind of prominent as he was.
He's just not getting minutes. I mean, he's good on offense, sucks on defense, and unfortunately, when you have Giannis who plays 5 positions and Jabari Parker comes up, your role's going to decrease.
And John Henson's better at defense, really, and that's why he's in starting lineup for the Bucks, I think.
That's a tall, skinny guy. He doesn't do anything other than just stand there and be tall and skinny. I like John Henson, but
Indeed.
his role is alter shots. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And catch a few lobs. Yeah, David West as well. Jose Calderon should be disappearing from the game, imagine, soon.
I don't
Nick
even know.
Batum is good, I guess. Nick Batum and DeAndre Jordan could keep him in the playoff picture eventually once.
I mean, it's not like Carmelo Anthony's dropping down to a 70 or something. I mean, so he's fine.
But time is not on their side, is safe to say.
No, and I mean there could be a benefit to being sort of like last in the playoffs. Is you're gonna have to play the Warriors or the Nuggets to get to the finals, so you might as well just play them. If you beat the Warriors, then you have pretty much a clear path, or as clear a path as you could to get to the friggin' thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the teams you've got to get through to get to the finals in the West are just insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just kind of impressive, actually. Who's scoring the points on his team? I wonder. Let's go down here a little bit.
That's kind of even, actually, between Monroe and Anthony, and Melo, rather.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Tony Parker's scoring out of his mind, 54%. Look at his three-point average.
Oh, my God. Field goal. Holy crap.
Tony Parker's
what the hell?
Curry, man.
He's got 53% three-point shooting.
Sometimes when you look at like the stats that this thing shoots out, you just go like, "What the hell?"
NBA Live, you are drunk. What is going on? That is insane, and that's going to be on a lot of makes as well.
Oh yeah, I mean it has to be
53% three-point shooting. Oh my God.
And if you look, it's basically what his field goal percentage. He's just only shooting threes, like
yeah,
which is the opposite of what Tony Parker does in real life.
Yeah, he always gets to the bucket, doesn't he?
Oh, David, 100% from three. I mean,
well, yeah. Let's hope he only shot the one, because otherwise that's insane. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, next team. Who we got next? It is you, the Memphis Grizzlies.
The greatest team in the league.
I think you've got to be the most. Even though Cleveland is overachieving, as they were last year, you have to be the most overachieving team in the league this year for sure, right?
At least in the West.
Because last year were you bottom of the league last year?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think Jay-Z's gonna beat my record. Like he is 0 for 16. I think I started off the season last year like with 3 wins out of 7 games, and I was like, oh crap, This is gonna suck. And then I just didn't win another game for like 2 months.
I think you had the record for the longest losing streak. Was it? I think it was last season.
Yeah,
It was
I
like
mean,
33 games.
trust the process, I guess, is the only thing I'm gonna have to say because it's working out. The thing is I knew that Carl Towns was getting a boost. Nikola Jokic is in the game now.
Oh man, yeah, I love your Twin Towers.
Yeah, and when he gets his boost, it's gonna pretty much be all in assists. Like I think personally, because he's doing everything else basically what he does in real life. Maybe a little bit of a boost for 3-pointers, but I mean, how good is he?
Yeah, man. I reckon, like with your team, Marcus Smart should just get the ball up the court and pass it to either Towns or Jokic, and then they can run the offense because those guys are just so good at passing.
Well, Nikola Jokic, I think, is best point guard on Denver. Really,
He could
watch
be
him,
that.
he just makes some of them. I was just watching highlight reels earlier today, and it is a highlight reel. Let's be honest, but I mean, holy crap! It's like watching and one.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
I love his alley-oop to Fareed. I think it was just last night.
How cool is that?
Good.
That was the one, the Britain game.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I did not go to because it costs so much.
Yeah, you said $135 for nosebleed, so that's regardless of euros or US dollars. That's outrageous.
I think that's about $165 at the moment.
Yeah, for a nosebleed seat, that's ridiculous.
Yep, do not want.
Yeah, no, especially not to see those two teams. Like maybe it might be worth it to say that you got to see LeBron or something, but
yeah, man. If someone like that was playing, then yes. But I was thinking, I should go and then just like try and hang around outside and try and meet my rookie Jamal Murray and then get a picture with him or something. But
yeah. Couple other players. Delladova's doing all right in Milwaukee. I can just
I don't know if I don't know if he's going to get the starting spot back from Malcolm Brogdon because Malcolm Brogdon's kicking ass.
Hey, let's be honest. Dellavedova is not a starting caliber point guard, I guess.
How can you say that about the man you love?
Hey, like he's great and he can start in spots, but for a whole season, I mean, to be honest, he's proven us all wrong by even being in the league. So I mean, who knows? Maybe Jason Kidd will turn him into miniature version of himself, and I'll look like an idiot. Yeah. But Marcus Smart is kind of letting me down as far as his shooting's concerned. He can't finish. It's frustrating.
Defensively, though, he's a beast. He's amazing defensively.
Now, one thing I looked up, though, is I was just looking him up when I was talking to James about him in chat, and like he's pretty much like the same path as Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry came in like a bulldog on defense, didn't really do much. He had a way better shot, though. But
I don't think the shot's going to be fixed, to be honest, but we'll see.
It took Lowry like 5 years to get good, so I'm not really too worried about it. Hopefully it doesn't get good right before I have to sign him to a new contract, which I could see happening, but whatever.
Yeah.
Myers Leonard, big letdown. He hasn't built on any of the success he had last year. In real life.
That's a shame, really, because I mean, I always thought he looked really good. He was like drafted in 2013, I think, or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like the 3rd pick, if I remember right.
He's had enough time now.
Yeah, he needs to start doing something, or he'll be out of the league. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
not too worried.
It's kind of hard to. I was just thinking about our trade in the offseason where I got Jamal Murray and you got Jaren Grant, and I think you got who else? You got Furkan Korkmaz, who hasn't played a game yet. Well,
he's over in France, I think, playing.
Mm-hmm. And did you get the Chinanu, whatever his name is, Onuaku?
I think so. Yeah, I didn't like Jamal Murray and I didn't like Buddy Hield. I don't know why. Murray looks like he's already a better point guard than Moutier is, but
In stretches, yeah. Sometimes he's a bit flaky, or a bit just makes sort of. No, actually, he's got good decision making, but I don't see him being sort of just producing enough. I guess when I'm watching.
yeah, and I didn't like that draft that much, other than Simmons. Really, I freaking thought Simmons was baller.
Man, I cannot wait till he comes back.
um, that Furkan Korkmaz, I've been watching that guy for like 2 years.
No way.
Yeah, and he's doing really good over it. When he gets minutes, he produces. When he's not getting minutes, he doesn't really produce. The biggest, like, kind of nerve-wracking thing about him, though, is there going to be room for him to come back? Because he got drafted by the 76ers, and it appears that literally every single prospect that they've ever had is hitting right now. And does he come back and get a role on that team? And for me, the answer is I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Colangelo just traded a lot of those, because they got draft rights on like 1 million players, so
They really
they
do.
can't squeeze them all in.
So hopefully they trade him to like the Spurs or something, and I get a future Hall of Famer, and everything works out the way I want it to. But I mean, who knows?
Okay,
The
next team.
Pacers.
I've screwed
Larry
up
Bird.
on the rosters. There's like a gap at the top. I need to fix that
What?
at the top of the roster. There should be in the first position for the Pacers on the rosters at the moment. There's just a gap. I've messed that up. Anyway,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah,
The trade leader of D5 trades
Larry,
4 whole teams worth
yeah,
of players a year.
at least.
Minimum. If he's not
I
trading a
think
whole
this is Jamal Crawford's eighth stint on the Pacers.
I don't know.
He's just
I don't-
moved back
whatever.
into the same hotel room he was in last time he got traded to the Pacers.
Right?
It's like a carousel. Is Larry Bird's Pacers? Larry, you need to get a direction sorted.
Like, I don't know. This team looks all right, I guess, if you're trying to get boosted in the first round of the playoffs.
That's it. I think whenever we discuss the Pacers and stuff, we always say, "Well, it's the East. He'll make the playoffs, and it doesn't seem so bad." But really,
Yeah.
that's not really a happy place to be for eternity.
Well, in the East, I mean, you can make the playoffs. You're almost in the playoffs. You only won 6 games. Everybody in the East looks like they're tanking. Even some of the people that are in the playoffs look like they're tanking. So, I mean,
Even the Cavs who look like they're tanking are somehow in the playoffs again.
yeah, whatever. You'd think his team would be better.
Yeah.
I know Al Jefferson's going to probably get lowered. I know there's
Gallinari's good though.
I like him.
Better than
Gallinari.
77, probably. I'd say he's probably in for a rating increase. I think.
Oh, he is. I'm mad about it, but whatever.
Yeah. Really, you don't think he should be? I think he's good.
I think he's all right.
But he's not. I don't get excited to watch him though play.
That's what I mean. Like, he's all right, but he's already got an all right rating. I assume he's doing good enough to keep him in the playoffs. Now, let's see what he's make 15 points again. I guess in the semi he's shooting like shit though. He's got a 90% free throw shooting, but he's got less than 30% from 3. So maybe there is something that needs adjusted there.
Next team is by the roster. It looks like the retirement home of the NBA, Dallas Mavericks. They should move to Florida. That's like America's retirement home, right?
Yeah, he's got Will Barton, who I like a lot. It's a young guy who plays a rare position in shooting guard.
Apart from that, though, I am not particularly interested in anything on that roster, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, I I just
In terms of like if I was looking around the league to make a trade, I would not linger at the Mavs.
if he
Mavs were
wants
just
to,
always so dominant year after year, and this year I think it's just Father Time has crept up, and here they are.
yeah, and I don't like Rudy Gay. I think that's been well documented. I think Ty Lawson's getting lowered. I think or was lowered. They have Brandon Wright on their team. I always liked him. The per 36-minute genius who every time he gets starters minutes just sucks, and then they put him back into a role playing position. But yeah.
So last season the Mavs finished. I'm just having a look. They finished with 54 wins. I do not think that's going to happen this season.
Unless they have a really late resurgence. I mean, I think after as many games as we've had, we kind of know what direction these guys are going. But you can see that Courtney Lee started a few minutes. I don't know if they've had injury problems or not.
I remember.
He's got a couple guys that aren't even really in the NBA anymore, though. Like Shane Larkin, Quincy AC. I don't think is playing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's playing.
Used to be on the Bucks. I can't remember where he's gone now. I think he was traded. Yeah.
It looks like he's not even on a team anymore.
Sorry, Danny. It's just Danny Longley. It's just.
He was drafted relatively high too. Like Johnny O'Brien looked really good.
Yeah, he was all right. Yeah.
He's a good GM. He'll bounce back. He'll trade off a contract or two. For some reason, Rudy Gay always nets a good return every time he's traded. It doesn't make any sense. Like, no one loses a trade except for the person getting Rudy Gay.
What did that guy do to you?
I read something online that the reason that his 3-point shooting was bad is that he refused to wear glasses.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
That for me, I was like, nah, you don't even deserve to be on a team right now. Like, you're afraid of not looking not cool. Like, come on.
He's still gonna get $10 million a year. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Go.
The Lakers.
Yeah, let's go to the Lakers.
They're fun. Tristan Thompson is averaging 18 points a game on that team.
What?
Oh my god.
See, Magic Johnson. He's like one of the oldest GMs in the league, but I'm afraid he's become one of the most neglectful. I don't think anything has changed on this roster for about 2 years, and he's just lucky that his players have not expired. I think, like the contract.
Like he logs in, makes sure no one's dead. It's like he has like a Neopet or something. Like, all right, Kemba Walker.
Los Angeles Neopets.
Kemba Walker got fed. Okay, we're good. Just stops.
Bruno Caboclo is still 2 years away from being 2 years away.
He's been that way for he's only been in the league for 1 year, I think. Or maybe 2, I don't know.
Yeah. But he did show up in the offseason, I guess, because he drafted Thon Maker and I traded Shabazz Napier to him.
Okay.
So there has been some activity lately, but Kemba should be really leading their team, but he's just getting the same as Vucevic and Thompson.
I can't believe Tristan Thompson shoots that much.
Yeah,
Harrison Barnes could be getting a boost soon. Like, his team's not in the worst position. There's definitely some teams that wouldn't mind his roster.
Yeah, and. Yeah, like Thon Maker's quite an interesting young player. He might do all right.
Yeah, that dude is so.
But I wish Magic was more active because, like, I always kind of think it'd be nice if like the Lakers and Knicks were doing all right in D5 because they're big market teams, and the same as I think it would be nice if they did well in the real NBA because they're quite they're traditional sort of strong teams, and it's kind of nice to see them at the top and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Because
oh hey James,
hey guys,
what's up?
Hey man, you're not driving your car again, are you?
No.
Hey, good. Last podcast, Jeremiah. Last podcast, James joined in and he was just driving. And you could hear him like his indicator going and stuff, or whatever you call it in America, turn signal. I don't know.
Not an indicator, but
We're talking about Los Angeles.
Yeah, we're down to the Lakers now.
D5 teams, right? Obviously.
Yeah. And Jeremiah made a very good point that they should be renamed the Neopets. No, was it Neo? It was Neopets.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. Because Magic Johnson checks in merely to see if it's alive, feeds it, and then goes.
Yeah. But he's done a pretty good job with it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not done such a bad job, though, but yeah. A bit neglectful, I'm afraid, Mr.
He used to
Magic
be a lot
Johnson.
more active, I think. But
Sorry?
he used to be a lot more active in the past, but he's kind of fallen off.
He did email me, I have to say. He emailed me sort of this time last year saying, Ian, I don't know if I can be bothered to continue. Saying basically he's just doesn't care that much anymore. And I was like, well, then why are you still here? I don't know. Yeah, it would be nice to have maybe a more active guy around. Maybe he should take a back seat for a bit and be an assistant. I don't know. Magic, if you're listening to this, pull your socks up. Do you have that expression in America?
No,
it is kind of difficult for a rebuilding team to really stay motivated and be watching it all. I mean,
True.
I watch it, but like, would it have really hurt my team to just completely ignore it until draft time each year and then just come in, draft my team, and then just go back to waiting? But
Indeed.
doing that isn't fun to me. So
yeah. Next team is the Suns, the team who got the most butthurt in the off season.
Oh, I mean, that was
they lost. Sorry, go on.
They lost Kawhi Leonard. I mean, his offer just sucked. It was the worst thing I had seen the entire offseason. Like
you were the player agent, weren't you?
Yeah, being a player agent sucks. Like,
yes,
it's really
does.
not. It's not great. It's not fun at all. I thought it would be like, oh, this is cool. No,
I remember
no,
when, because like me, you, I think Alex English, because he was not bidding, or was it Alex? It was somebody. Maybe it was Walt.
Alex and Danny, I think.
And we wanted one other random GM to just give their verdict before we made a decision. We invited in Chris Mullen from Golden State, and we're chatting about it. We're discussing it for a couple of days, and like going, "Oh man, what about this? What about this?" Discussing all the things, and then we're like, "Wow, he's got to go because Dan Mully's made zero effort to keep him, and look at all this effort these other guys are putting in." So, and I remember Chris Mullen posting like, yeah. I mean, I think we've made a good decision. People respect our decision, and you posted it, and then like the next thing he posted in that hidden thread of discussion was like, "Holy fucking shit!" It was like he just couldn't believe how the drama that fell out from the Kawhi Leonard signing. It
was frustrating because like,
yeah, man.
Dan, his offer was 3 sentences. Like, that's it. And I don't know like what his level of English is and whatnot, but we have a bunch of guys in this league that English isn't their first language. Mm-hmm. That's not an excuse to me. I mean, Chicago, I think he's from the Philippines as well. Like, he had like a giant like expose and everything, the same as Charles.
He wrote an essay.
Yeah, the same as James, same as everybody. And then Dan's was just like, sign with me, here's the money.
Yeah. I've got bird rights, you're coming back, right?
Yeah, it was essentially that. And it wasn't even like he had drafted him or anything. Like, he got him off of like a weird trade. And
Chuck gave him up. Chuck used to have him on his team.
I told him not to do that.
July at the same team.
What, James?
But imagine Giannis and Kawhi on the same team.
Oh my God, indeed.
Yeah,
That'd be
that
ridiculous.
his team would be in talks for the championship this year.
He's had so many players that have like the pure talent that has been on his team at one point. Like wasn't Draymond on his team, and he didn't retain him
Yeah,
because he didn't have
yeah.
rights on him. And
He also drafted Andre Drummond
oh my, he
back in
really wow.
2012 and instantly traded him to the Bucks.
I wonder if he would have Giannis. I don't know. I would like to see I think that thing that you did, Ian, for your team.
What?
Oh, the who's all been on the team kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know where you posted it. It was something like a look at. I don't even know what you called it. Oh, team timeline. This is it.
Oh
I
yeah.
would have loved to see one for Houston. Like,
Oh man, I love making that thing.
yeah, that was really cool.
He's got some good players on his team though. Like, still. I mean, I know
Mhm.
Nurkic's on his way out, right? Nurkic and Rubio for what's his name? Holiday.
True.
That's a weird trade,
Yeah.
but whatever.
I do not care for Nurkic. He disappointed me in fantasy basketball this year, so I am holding a grudge.
Did he not really? He didn't really make a
Oh, he
move
was
forward the
so
way
good
that
in summer league and the preseason, or it was, and then he's you can't play with Jokic, and Jokic's the future of that team. So Nurkic is the one that's being.
Yeah.
How lucky of a pick was that? In the freaking
Yeah, man.
back ass end of the freaking draft. Like I had been watching that guy, and I don't say it was all luck because I've gotten lucky on a couple of other late draft picks, but man, has he just blown me away.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. But Dan's team not in the worst position. He's got a couple young guys on his team: Tobias Harris, Zach LaVine, Goran Dragic.
I'm targeting Zach LaVine. I'm trying to put together an offer for him at the moment. I'm a big fan of him.
Zach looks like he might even be better than Wiggins. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like he has potential.
Yep.
His percentages
looking at-
are off the wall.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of crazy in real life too, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Levine in the game is shooting 53% as well from 3-point.
Well, in real life, he's shooting 47 and 41, so that's not really.
I suppose.
The thing with Zach with the Suns is he's got a decent amount of younger type talent, but a lot of like the contract to Thad and Tobias, that's a lot of money to give. What is it? Almost $40 million to Thad Young and Tobias Harris. I don't know. And then Zach Randolph, $16 million next year. Aaron Aflalo, geez, that's a bad contract.
Well, especially now that he's not getting any minutes on. He doesn't get any minutes on the Kings. Like of all the teams, you can't get minutes on.
He was so trash in New York. Oh my God,
He was a guy that was really good back when he was on Denver, though. Like I like Aaron Aflalo, but
yeah,
that was sort of the George Karl effect of everybody on that team being awesome.
I don't know exactly what happened with him because he's one of those guys. If you look at his stats, actually, for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons, he has like a clear linear progression where he just got better every year. You know, he scored 4 points, then 5, then 9, and 12, and 15, and 16, and 18. He started in Detroit, Denver, Orlando, and then he just completely fell off when he came to. I think it was that second Denver stint he had.
Yeah,
and then he got traded to Portland, and it was really bad in Portland.
Yeah.
Signed with the Knicks.
You can see that he really only had he hasn't even really had injury problems either. Like he's played at least 60 games every year. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. He just doesn't care anymore. He's on the Kings.
The thing to note is that Dan Marley's going to have to do something about these contracts because He's got Goran Dragic to resign in the oh wait, no, I think he's got Goran Dragic's draft rights actually. I mean bird rights.
I think he's had him.
Didn't he trade with wasn't Dragic on the Lakers a year or two ago?
I don't think
Maybe.
so. I think he's got bird rights.
I mean, if we're being honest, he doesn't really need Goran Dragic. I wouldn't re-sign him. He's not doing anything for Miami.
Actually, no, I don't think he does have his draft rights.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
Yeah, I mean draft bird rights because just looking through the old rosters, the Lakers had him on with 3 years left at the end of the end of 2015. So yeah, he doesn't have him.
And he's got a couple guys on player options as well.
He actually just
Yeah.
that. Wait.
He won?
No, sorry. I was searching for trades, and I just I saw this trade. Remember when after Dan lost Kawhi, he offered his players for anything, and then Larry Bird posted like Zach Randolph and Dragic for Deron Williams and Jeff Green. And then Alex is just like, this. If you're looking into get in on the Suns fire sale, don't bother.
Yep. Memories.
Next, we have your team.
What do you reckon?
What is the order we're going in here?
December 4th standings.
Oh, right.
Tell you what, Joel Embiid. Holy crap.
Yep.
Man, I love him. He's like, honestly, he's my favorite player now at the moment. I just, yeah, so
Did you
thrilled.
see the one video where he like tells the crowd to scream when he's shooting free throws and shit?
Yeah,
Did you see him spit the water out as he was getting introduced?
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
liked
The Triple
when
H thing.
TJ did the buzzer beater against New York, and they beat New York.
Yeah, I don't
And
wanna talk
when Joel when he was dancing with the cheerleaders, that made me happy. I love that.
What about he like? There was like some statement that Whiteside made about people using Twitter like to make jokes on Twitter to get NBA votes for the All-Star, and Joel he like retweeted it and then wrote hashtag NBA vote Joel Embiid, and then he retweeted it again and wrote hashtag NBA vote Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, I saw that. Man, the guy's a legend.
The guy, he like embodies the nasty spirit that is Philadelphia. Like, I freaking think he's awesome.
He's hilarious.
I think he's like the NBA has not had like a huge personality like him since like Shaq. I don't think.
Yeah, basically, there really hasn't been anybody who's sort of like seemed like the guy who's going to get on somebody's nerves, like Draymond Green style attitude, but like this guy's actually like superstar quality potential.
Yeah.
What's your offer that you're cooking up for Levine, Ian?
Let me think. I think it was going to be just straight up for Adrian Payne. No, just kidding. I don't know. Well, I don't know yet. I need to put it together properly. It involves like a third team and stuff. I think it's going to have to because I don't really have what Dan Marley wants. I don't have established veterans other than like Enes Kanter or someone, and I don't want to trade Enes Kanter.
I would offer him Jamal Murray and Dante Exum straight up.
Well, both of them for Levine.
Yeah, Dante Exum isn't going to do anything.
I don't know, man.
And Levine is worth 2 Jamal Murrays.
I'm a fan of
that. Is blasphemy. What, James?
I like Jamal. I think Jamal's going to be really good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally like he had just judging from the few games where he absolutely blew everybody away. I just think he just needs the opportunity to do that again.
Montrezl Harrell, maybe you could move him, Decker, and like a pick for Levine or something like that.
Yeah, but whenever guys get good like Decker and Harrell have done, I don't want to move them then.
Yeah, well, that's how you can't make trades with
I know.
giving up guys.
There's like,
Well, that's
who
what I'm
would I
saying.
even?
It's like Murray, it might become like Zach Levine, but I mean, you get a guy averaging 20 points a game, and then you have 3 guys averaging 20 points a game on your team. They can't really beat that. 4 guys if you count Cantor.
Yeah,
Cantor,
the only
so
players,
good.
because I probably wouldn't trade Jalen Brown either. Maybe Jeremy Grant.
Maybe. What do you mean, maybe?
I love Jeremy Grant. I was so thrilled because I picked him up like about 7 spots higher than he was drafted, and then he did pan out. He's panning out all right.
Didn't you have the other brother?
Jaron,
Yeah.
I think I
who
have him.
You
I
did.
traded him to Jeremiah.
You did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What was that trade for?
That was for Jamal Murray.
Wait, what?
Jamal Murray and a bunch of picks.
And yeah, there's some picks as well.
You traded Jerry and Grant for Jamal Murray?
Yeah, and I think 2 first rounders as well.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say what?
I'll tell you what. Weird stat.
I threatened to
thing
fire
going on.
Jeremiah.
Weird stat going on your team. Jabari Parker isn't shooting any 3-pointers at all.
Well, that's because he needs a rating change. Actually, I should put in a rating change request, I think.
Or at the very least, a rating adjustment just to like fix him, because obviously he does shoot threes.
Because I'll tell you what, as much as I love watching Embiid, I absolutely love watching Jabari this year. He's just amazing.
He looks like he might be better than Wiggins.
Yeah, I would take him over Wiggins, definitely.
I mean, it's kind of like a pick your
He's shooting
flavor
40%. He's shooting 40% from 3 now.
Oh, really?
Not
So
just like
he needs a big
last year he
adjustment.
didn't even shoot. Last year he didn't even shoot the 3. And this year he's shooting 40%. It's insane how quickly he's improved.
That's awesome. That could just be a side effect of like just deciding to let him play, I guess.
Well,
Even-
because I'm obsessed with him and I watch tons of Bucks games now, I know from the commentary that Jason Kidd specifically told Jabari do not shoot 3-pointers for the first 2 years of his career.
Wow.
And now he's been allowed to, because like in his first year, but he was injured most of his first year, but in his second year he played 76 games and he shot the ball 35 times from 3.
Dang.
Half of that, 38 games, and he shot it 133 times. And he's on 42 shooting, which is amazing.
That's really good. Hey man, your drafting is proven.
No, I got Jabari through a trade with Chuck. Oh no, wait, no, not with Chuck, with Billy King.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean,
I traded
Ian's team right now.
Justice Winslow.
What?
Sorry, what?
No, so go on. I was gonna
Go on,
say
James.
your team right now is probably the best young team in the league, but I don't know if I would credit you for your drafting so much.
Yeah,
Exum and Miclemore and there's someone else too. I think that you traded him away.
Pain.
Yeah, Payne. Both Paynes. Actually, no, Cameron Payne's okay.
yeah, I like him.
But yeah, I mean, your trading, I think, is your expertise.
He leverages potential very well.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it. Leverages potential.
Another way of saying gets really good trade deals.
How else am I going to trade Adrian Payne for Zach Levine?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm really happy with Montrezl Harrell. Pretty cautiously optimistic about Glenn Robinson, weirdly as well, because he's got a starting role for the Pacers now, and he's doing really well.
You drafted
But,
him though,
Oh,
Glenn
good.
Robinson.
But the biggest letdown have always been Ben McLemore. I can't believe how bad he is.
He's on the Kings, man. It's where careers go to die.
Oh, absolutely. And I would absolutely love if they traded McLemore anywhere, absolutely anywhere. And I think it's the sole reason. Like I've never hated a team before, but I think I hate the King now. and like I know part of Macklemore being rubbish is his fault, but
I mean, I'm gonna say this. I think that Cousins might have actually been an all-time great if he hadn't ended up on that team.
yeah,
Any other team, just pick one. I don't care. He could have been like he would have been a multi-time All-Star. Would have made the playoffs on any other organization.
yeah, I think you might be right. The Kings are a disaster.
I hate them too. Because they have Omri Caspi. Like they had George Karl on his team. He was averaging like 15 points a game last year, and then now he's like back on the bench. Like he didn't magically get worse. And they didn't sign like a bunch of guys that were really good. Like,
Yeah,
so dumb.
the Kings.
Next.
Real life Pistons. I mean, not real life Pistons, but D5 Pistons.
Oh, man. This team is destroyed. I think we should just like fold this team.
Move them out of Detroit.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Send them to Seattle.
Just dissolve the team, dissolve the franchise. I feel bad for Ganzi. He didn't. I mean, he didn't do like he's not blameless in this, but I wouldn't put him as the most responsible. This team doesn't have. They traded away their 2 draft picks for clearing salary for no reason because they didn't do it like that. And they had.
Oh, you know what? I might be sensing a D5 Hall of Shame eventually if he continues in this direction.
I mean, he's still sticking around. Didn't he just have like a baby and stuff? It's not like he's like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. Ganzi, I don't mean to rag on you, but when Kenneth Faried and Rajon Rondo are somehow the best players on your team, and I don't even know what to say. What direction does this team go in?
What happens, it seems, is that we get a new GM, and then everybody pounces on them and tries to get deals.
I hate that.
Oh, shut up! You do it too.
I probably do.
I mean, because a lot of people, like just like yourself and a couple of the other Filipino guys, is that they don't get a chance to watch all the games that maybe we do. So it's a little hard. Like if you don't know the ins and outs of, like I didn't pay as much attention to basketball as I do now before I started doing this. So when you come in and you have somebody on your team, like pretend Bino Udrih is like just now coming on, and you don't pay that much attention yet, and then somebody comes in and offers you Patty Mills for him or something, and you go, yeah, definitely, that's easy, and then turns out Bino Udrih was getting ready to pop and be an all-star or something, and I don't know, I think there should be a small moratorium on trades for new GMs.
There is.
I think that's why. Yeah, there is a moratorium, but of just like a week though. But I think this is what. Well, I mean, this is what why we go harder on trades, because like the other week, I think Alex English made a trade, and was complaining how much we were scrutinizing it. But I think GMs like him get scrutinized more because he's already built a team that's fantastic. And it's all about kind of maintaining the balance in the league. And if we weren't harder on the GMs that were better, maybe it would be even more unbalanced, and we'd have even more teams like Detroit.
Well, I mean, it's like the that hard cap thing that I presented on the other thing the other day.
I still need to read that. Yeah,
like he could literally sit over that cap that I proposed for like 5 years. That's how good his team is set up right now. He doesn't need to make any moves.
Oh, you're talking about Denver, yeah.
Yeah, like it's insane. So like that's how good his team is set up right now. I mean, his worst player is freaking Pascal Siakam. Who the hell is that?
He's a starter for the Raptors. He's a rookie though, but he's good.
Exactly. That's his worst prospect on his team. Like, come on. That's bullshit. And then Detroit's worst
Well,
player is a
yeah.
guy I've never even freaking heard of. Darren Hilliard. Nah, I know who he is, but you know what I mean. Like, is some like
Where's that?
23-year-old rookie making $600,000 a year.
I don't. Which roster on Detroit?
Yeah, he
Oh.
actually plays for Detroit
Why
in
is
real
that
life.
What's going on there? I don't have him on the rosters database. So damn. Okay, I need to fix that.
He's playing for their team.
Yeah, he is. I don't know why. I must have missed that. I hate it when that happens.
Oh man, that's funny. The New York Knicks.
Spike.
I like him as a GM. He's getting a little meta, trading away Drew Holiday and getting back a pick. And it's not like Houston's like a really high draft pick either. It's gonna look like it's gonna be a lower 20s kind of range, which that can be a useful player. He's
The
using
Knicks
his
had
cap
a
well.
draft picks this year, but they're none. Well, I guess Buddy Hield's doing all right.
He's
They
sort of
got
coming along.
they got Dragan Bender, Buddy Hield, and who else did they get? They had 3 really high draft picks.
Wade Baldwin.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
Sorry,
I'll tell you what, if he wouldn't have picked Dragan Bender, you wouldn't have got that pick for Jamal Murray. That's who I wanted.
No. Oh, really? Then?
What's that?
Oh, I'm glad he picked Bender then, because I would have wanted Bender. Although Bender looks pretty good when I saw him play one game.
Yeah, like I thought, like how cool would that be if I had the Twin Towers, two bigs that can shoot threes, and then it turns out I just lucked into having that anyway, so kind of worked out for both of us.
True. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Uh,
You are so happy about Jokic as well. I love it.
Dude,
I
I'll tell
know
you
what
what's
you're feeling
interesting
though,
so
because
we don't have as many draft picks traded this year as we
yeah,
normally do.
I noticed that as well. There's only like a couple that are not owned. The second round's gone nuts, but
I think it has something to
Yeah.
do with how top heavy this draft is. Like this is a stud filled draft.
Can
A
I
lot
make
of
a
guard.
yeah.
to Detroit for a second? They own their pick right now this year, right? And Ganzi has indicated that he's busy with his first kid. I feel like we need to have some sort of GM step in. Like if I was running Detroit right now, I would cut Rajon Rondo from my team. Because that 82 rating is this is his one chance to turn the franchise around is to get a good pick this year, and he's won 5 games already. He needs to cut Rajon Rondo, trade Fareed for anything in the world, literally anything. Who will take 23? He's owed $32 million in 4 years. Fareed is not. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. It's a sad state of affairs in Detroit.
And I think that someone needs, the league needs to intervene here because Ganji's clearly busy with a baby.
I think that's not a bad idea. I'll talk to him and try and get somebody else to kind of help him out.
Detroit needs a top 3 pick, and right now he'd be getting the.
And it's within reach for him too. Like if he
cuts Rondo and trades away Fareed and starts out like Udra and Drew Gooden.
It might not be the worst idea. Man, there's a lot of tanking teams.
Yeah, he's got a tank in the East, so I would say the Knicks. Although imagine if he got rid of Fareed and Rondo, I think he might be the worst team in the East.
Which is hard.
He's at least second worst because we're almost to the actual worst.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Contracts.
next is Magic.
Contract, yes.
Sorry, go on. No, go on. What you say, Gemma?
Contracts for New York, though, not that bad. He's got some
Mhm.
guys that I thought would go for really high, like in Markeith Morris and Jennings and stuff. It's he's gonna be set. He's using his cap well.
I'm surprised the Knicks aren't doing better than that actually, because
He's got a couple
you know,
80s. Yeah.
just to have two guys that are 80 or higher on your team usually gets you in the playoffs in the East.
All right. So Orlando.
Yep.
They have.
I like what Blake's done with his team.
I thought his team would take a jump this year, to be honest, and I was wrong because I'm looking at this roster right now and I can see why it hasn't.
Well, they've done normally, well, most years in a row. It seems to be me and Orlando at the bottom of the standings, but this year we both kind of had rating increases to our guys, and they sort of at least, although we're not at the bottom anymore, we've lifted off just slightly.
Well, Gobert is like the best defensive center in the game.
Yeah,
He'll need a boost. I might actually put the rating in after we were talking about him earlier.
he only just had a boost, but yeah, you could get another one.
Yeah, but didn't he have a boost? Wasn't that boost from like last year though?
Probably, yeah. I can't remember.
But
Schroeder's amazing.
Schroeder looks like he's got a raise increase in. He's got a couple guys that are going to take a little while. He ended up getting Evan Fournier, who is the person that I wanted all off season.
The kind of the funny thing about the Magic is that the only offensive player they have is Fournier, and as a result, I think he's something like third in the scorers. No, he's the fourth highest scorer in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, Evan
He's at
Fournier is good.
27 points a game. Wow.
Yeah, man, he's absolutely destroying it because he's the only offensive focal point for the Orlando Magic.
He's has to be the only person shooting the ball too, because like he's only averaging 40% from the field, and he's just chucking it, and it doesn't matter. That's
27 points a game. Get him the ball.
Man,
Who else are they going to go to? I mean, Schroeder's good, but he's a facilitator mostly.
I can't believe he's not starting Mozgov. He's being cheeky. Can't really play Mozgov and Gobert.
Yeah.
That's a tough roster to work with.
But I like it. He's improving. I think Blake Bowman at the moment though is the only GM who can rival Magic Johnson in terms of neglectfulness, because I think he's logged on like twice since the season started with this league. Yeah, this season started. And
I mean, that's one of those things we'll have to review maybe at the All-Star break if people aren't going to be playing. I mean, it's one Reddit post away from getting a new set of GMs.
Well, I've got like 15 GMs on the waiting list at the moment. So
well, then it's one just not even doing anything then.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right there. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I've warmed him in the past as well, so maybe I should do something about it. I don't know.
I mean,
well, I'd miss Blake if he's gone
really
because
wasn't he young as hell?
He started here when he was 14, and now he's like 21, 22.
So now he likes girls. He doesn't have time for it anymore.
That's fine, Blake. It's fine.
New Orleans, the biggest letdown of the season.
Yeah, big surprise that these guys are here.
Like, they're worse than Detroit, really? Like, come on.
Scalabrine, I mean, you're a good GM. He's a good GM, and he got Wiggins in a trade over the summer, and I was like, damn, it's a really good pickup. And yeah, it hasn't paid off for him at all. This season, his team's been terrible. He's got Andre Drummond to re-sign this offseason.
How much do you give Andre Drummond? He's clearly not helping your team. And for some reason, he's shooting enough threes to have 11% three-point shooting. That might need a look. That might be one of the contributing factors as to why he's losing.
Yeah, what the stats don't tell you is that's off about 300 attempts.
Like Andre Drummond is only averaging 40% field goal shooting. Like he shouldn't be shooting any 3-pointers at all.
Yeah.
So why he's doing that? That might deserve a look by Walt. I might have to send that one up.
Yeah, well, Fraser, I know you'll be listening. Take a look at Drummond's 3-point percentage. Well, the percentage he shoots.
Yeah,
Thank you, buddy.
He should be at. Could you imagine Stan Van Gundy if Andre Drummond shot it? His head might explode.
It's the last thing anybody would expect, Jeremiah.
Oh my
Boom,
God.
Drummond for 3 again.
He's got a couple guys. Jordan Adams is a guy that was on Memphis who ran into some injury problems. He was one of my targets that Scalabrini stole from me a couple of years ago. He's not in the NBA anymore, unfortunately. But it was injury related. I thought he had a lot of talent, so that's kind of unfortunate for Scalabrini a little bit. Alec Burks, what happened to him?
He's just been injured forever. But he's back now, and I think he's going to do okay. I love Burks. He's a good player.
Like, he went from averaging basically 14 points, 13.3 points, and then only playing 5 games so far this year. Like, he didn't play that many games last. Yeah, he's been injured a lot.
Yeah, it's
I
just
didn't even
injury.
notice that. Man, that
It was a
sucks.
big contract to give him.
What's that?
It was a big contract to give him.
Oh yeah, for somebody
Yeah.
that had that much injury problems.
Oh yeah, did New Orleans sign him over the summer? Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yep.
I mean, that was a risk that he can take though. Because if
Yeah.
it doesn't work out, he ends up back in the lottery and he gets a superstar out of the draft.
New Orleans don't really have a power forward, do they?
Nope.
Monty Junis was supposed to be there. Freaking
Oh, Demo, yeah.
yeah, he was supposed to be good. He looked like he was going to be good, and then he just freaking fell off out of nowhere.
Well,
He's been injured too.
Is that contract stuff?
He's on
Oh,
New
yeah.
Orleans now, so he might turn it around.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Pelicans might be the most underperforming team in the league this year. They're really. I mean, it's
just
really
Googled-
surprising how bad they are.
I just Googled Donatus, Monty Junis, and the first article that comes up is Pelicans Donatus misses all 7 field goal attempts on Thursday.
He's got
Oh,
deep
man.
bench now. That's his strongest thing. The bench is deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gave Andre Roberson a lot of money, and he's playing no minutes. I think I'd start him over, or I'd put him over Al-Farouq Aminu on my depth chart.
I think I'd play Hayward at the 4, maybe. Wiggins at the 3. 'Cause
That might not be
Wiggins-
the worst idea.
Wiggins killed it for in the sim, at least for me, at the 3.
Yeah, this year he sucks. What's going on there?
Maybe he's not a shooting guard in the sim.
Maybe. That's an interesting point because he's only playing 25 minutes a game actually.
I'm not I don't really know if I care for Wiggins so much. I mean, obviously I traded him away, but
When he
all the
came-
advanced stats kind of hate him.
Yeah. In 2014, 2014 was the draft I absolutely loved. I've never been so excited about a draft. And I would have taken Wiggins first, Parker, and then Embiid. But now, I think Wiggins would be the 3rd pick in that draft.
Do you
He's very
understand
one-dimensional.
how heartbroken I was when you took Embiid? I thought you were gonna let him go. I thought you were gonna let him go, and then I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna let him go because he already picked Exum, and I'm like, ah. Then he
Did I pick Exum 3rd?
no, you might have picked him 4th, but I thought you were gonna let Embiid go, and I was like, gosh, come on. 'Cause if you let Embiid go, like right now, my team, I'm trading one of Towns or Embiid away for the
Holy
world.
crap, yeah. Then you'd have a pretty awesome team.
Yeah,
I would keep them both.
I mean they both shoot threes. I might as well just
Yeah,
keep them.
keep them both. Yeah.
Cat can kind of.
And then just put Jokic at small forward.
screw it. Why not?
All right, who's up next?
76ers, the other big letdown.
I kind of like where the Sixers are at right now, though. They had I mean, that Bosch contract is probably going to be. Do we medically clear contract?
Yeah.
So you get, let's say Bosch never plays again. He doesn't have to pay Bosch. That's 36 million in space he gets. He's got rookies.
Yeah.
Torian Prince doesn't look anything crazy, but he's still, just a rookie.
Perfect.
I really like George Hill.
I love
yeah.
George Hill.
He's been the key piece that Utah was like looking for this whole time.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, Malcolm Brogdon looks really good.
Oh, I'm so jealous he's got him.
That was a really good pick.
Yeah.
And Wilson Chandler's kind of having a career resurgence. For $5 million, not a bad contract at all. He's like that perfect 3-4 swingman type shooter, scorer.
Plus, Darren Williams is getting a decrease, so that's just going to improve his tanking.
Yeah.
I mean, so his team, like, if you're going to be getting ready to do a rebuild, that's the team you want. Because he's got all of his stuff, doesn't he? He's got all his picks.
In terms of the biggest drop-off, though, I thought I was going to say that Dallas was the biggest drop-off this year, but it has to be Philly. Philly, it was second in the East last year.
Well, didn't they also have Al Jefferson last year?
Yeah, they had 57 wins last year, and
Well, he just traded with Indiana. Like, he gave Indiana Al Jefferson and what the hell is his name? Manu Ginobili, and I think Lou Williams, maybe? Or Jamal Crawford. One of them two guys went there.
yeah, Jamal Crawford. I
Like,
think.
he gave up all of his depth in that trade to get that pick and Darren Williams. So Darren Williams is going to be gone after this year. Like, he's going to have 2 solid years where he's going to be picking at the top of the draft, and not the worst idea.
That's amazing, though. He's gone all the way from second in the East, plummeted
To almost
where
at
he
the
is now.
bottom.
Yeah.
It looks like after.
It's not like. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because not that many personnel changes have happened, and yeah, he's fallen down that low. He's just unlucky with Bosch getting injured, because if Bosch wasn't injured, I reckon he would be in the playoffs, probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He wouldn't have made any of those moves. I mean, think about it. If Bosch was with them last year in the did he make the conference finals, or he probably would have at least made the conference finals if Bosch hadn't been hurt. So
Yeah.
that's sports, though.
Next team, Kings.
Proving that just like in real life, Damian Lillard cannot carry a team.
Yeah, indeed. And this is the year he's got to re-sign Damian Lillard as well.
Damian Lillard sucks in the sim. 38%, 29 from 3. That's awful.
Oh, wow, really? Damn.
Jeremy Lin shooting 50 and 50 like a boss.
Despite those terrible percentages, he's still third in scoring for the whole league, Lillard.
Yeah.
And third in assists per game, actually. Wow. He just has, because he's got no option but to do everything for that team.
Yeah, he's the Westbrook.
Yeah, he is.
He's got players, though.
Otto Porter looks good.
Yeah,
What's
he
that?
should hang on to him.
Otto Porter is looking really well.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got Jonathan Simmons,
Eh.
who can dunk.
He's sort of fallen off since last year. Like, he looked really good for the Spurs, and then this year his percentages are just all wonky.
Why is he doing so poorly? Like a lineup of Lillard, Bazemore, Porter,
Yeah.
any power forward, and Lopez should be decent.
And I mean, if you look at today's standings, because we're going by the older ones, he's actually the second bottom team in the entire league.
Yep.
He's lost his 11-game losing streak at the moment.
Good
Holy crap.
man. I mean, look at who's on his bench, though. Like, Jeremy Lin is a good spark plug off the bench, but behind him you got Luke Babbitt. Is Luke
Okay.
Babbitt even in the league anymore?
Yeah, he was playing for the Heat.
All right, isn't he? Or no? Am I thinking of someone else?
Well, he's not amazing, but I think, yeah, he played last night for the Heat.
Okay, but he's not good.
No, he's not. I mean, Luke Babbitt shouldn't be coming. Lance Thomas and Kyle Quinn isn't a terrible bench.
Yeah. Oh, Quinn's good.
Yeah, I like
I
O'Quinn.
wonder how much of an effect having a full 15-player roster has on the play of your team.
I don't know if it has any,
Because
really.
I have almost the full bench, and I'm overperforming. Like, all of the higher up in the playoffs teams have full teams. I guess it doesn't really work with me.
Everybody was saying that James, his team was doing well because they had 12 players, I think, at some point. But I just don't know that that's true. I don't think it affects it.
Because we have no players, we were doing better.
Yeah, I think there's people were saying that about your team sometime last season.
Yeah, I think that a lot of my, not a lot, but if I had to attribute like some of my success was I signed some kind of solidly rated bench players, like random ones, like what was it, like Ronnie Brewer was on my team, I think,
Yeah.
like at a 75 or something. Like a few people like that.
I think that people really underestimate the importance of having a good bench, though. I mean, even a team like Denver can get knocked off by a team that has a good full overall team, you know? If your lowest player is a 71, you're doing a good job, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Caris LeVert is a nice player for Brooklyn, I think.
Yeah, he's getting a role because he's in Brooklyn, I think.
True, but I mean, the first step to getting good is actually playing,
Yeah.
which is
True.
which is a good sign. The person who I thought would be Tank Master, Adam Billy King, Utah Jazz.
Next team, yeah.
I don't.
I think he regrets trading because he gave me Jabari, and I gave him Justice Winslow and Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah,
I
I
think
would.
he was.
I would regret
saying,
that too.
Yeah, I think because like Adam loves his tanking, but
I don't think he ever wants to win.
no. I asked him about that today, but I think what he just wants is he wants to kind of pick up a Ben Simmons or a Joel Embiid or Karl Anthony Towns or something like that. He wants to do that before, he really gets going.
He wants to have a legitimate superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of drafting, I guess, and it's looking like a possibility. I see like 5 guys at the top of the draft this year that I'm really kind of upset that I'm doing so well because, like that Fultz, Ball, Josh Jackson, Jason Tatum, Malik Monk, those are all guys that could really change things around for you.
Mm-hmm. I've really not researched rookies this year at all. It's terrible. I need to get on it.
Lonzo Ball looks like the 6'6" person that Dante Exum was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So if that gives you any hints of how good people are, like he's averaging 8 assists a game as a freshman.
Wow, that's pretty amazing for college ball, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't usually see anybody over 6.
Yeah.
So who's up next? What team?
Washington.
Man,
so
that starting lineup right there: D'Angelo Russell, Austin Rivers, Tim Hardaway, Larry Nance, and Lucas Nogueira. Wow, that's bad.
It's been 2 unhappy seasons in a row. This is poor old GM of the Wizards got saddled with this train wreck by the old Tracy McGrady GM, who's the only guy in the Hall of Shame at the moment.
I'll tell you what he's done though. He's kept his picks, so he's finally gonna be able to pick a guy this year. Like,
Yeah,
part
I
of
think they're on a good path.
part of me is really hoping that the draft doesn't really like. I want to get that top pick, but I really don't want anybody from outside the top 3 to get a top 3 guy. Like Utah, Wizards, Hawks, they all need a little bit of good luck, I think, so they can move on and let the
Yeah.
other teams that maybe should be tanking to start tanking.
Yeah, I mean, Wizards have only got one option, and that is to tank at the moment, isn't it? They just
They're not
And
even intentionally tanking, I don't think.
look at
They're
the
just
stats.
bad.
Lucas Nogueira started every game for them, playing 33 minutes a game, averaging 2.9 points per the game. Wow.
That's a solid contract. I think he's a pretty good bench player in real life for $2 million. When your team's a tanking team, not a bad signing. Or I don't even did he draft him?
No, he was. Nogueira was on my team at one point.
You traded for him?
No, I think I just cut him, and he might have pulled him off of the
That's an
in-season
odd contract.
free agent lease.
An odd contract for a free agent. It looks like a rookie deal or something.
Yeah, but he's got the team option at the end of it and stuff.
No, the player option at the end.
Oh yeah, player option. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Well, because what happened was I thought that Toronto drafted him. He played like a year, or somebody drafted him, and then he went back to Brazil, and then everybody kind of thought he was dead, and then he's just on the roster again out of nowhere, and then he's doing really well, and he has a rating increase thread up now. Of course, that's not going to really help him because I think Ramon Sessions, which is his best player, is getting a lower thread. So,
oh man, that is a sad story. That's just, oh man. Although, let's get to the saddest story in the league. Which is
hold on,
Atlanta
before
Hawks.
we do that,
No,
I
okay.
will say this: the Wizards are taking on this idea of let's get our role player kind of guys in at reasonable deal contracts, which is sort of what I did with Deladova, Caspi, and those guys, so that I'm not going to have to sign those guys when I'm throwing max contracts around and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yep.
Now, the saddest team in the league. What the hell?
Well, I'm kind of happy for Atlanta now because
Detroit's definitely the saddest team. But continue.
yeah, I think you're right. Because Detroit aren't even tanking.
Yeah.
Probably. At least Atlanta have a good chance of a good pick.
Yeah.
If I'd be they might not finish last in the league this year, but 17 losses now to start the season. Wow.
That's got to be an opening to the season record, right?
I don't know. It might be. Let's have a look at the records. It's definitely, I think it's now the 4th longest losing streak ever. But Atlanta's been one of those teams that every single season, even though their team has sucked even more than it has this year.
They had the 8th pick every time.
Yeah, every single time. So and for them to now be rooted to the bottom of the league, I'm kind of at least thinking, oh well, at least they can look forward to the draft this year. I'm kind of happy.
Yeah. Look at their team though. They have a lot of guys I've been trying to get off of him forever, and he's consistently been no, not yet, no, and it's gonna pay off for him because Saric looks all right.
Yeah, man.
That's it though.
Mario Hezonja is he lost his role. Alfred Payton's at least starting.
Yeah,
Kelly Oubre will get better.
Magic did Hezonja fairly. I don't think does he really just suck, or are the Magic just ruining him? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a real question.
I've never not watched any Magic games.
Kelly Oubre looks all right.
Maybe the second most valuable thing on that roster.
Kevon Looney had 20 rebounds last night in the D League.
Yeah,
Who?
asterisk D League.
But
Oh,
the
Kevin
thing
Looney.
the thing that sucks is that he's on the Golden State Warriors. Like they're the ones that drafted him, and to get a role on that team
Huh.
is freaking hard for somebody who's a rookie. So
Yeah. At
I
least
mean,
he's got all of his picks for the next 4 years, Atlanta, and he's got Phoenix's pick this year.
ooh, really?
So that's not a bad place to start from rebuilding.
No. So he's gonna get the presumably a top. He's gonna get a top 3 pick no matter what at the worst spot. And so top 3 pick and like the 10th pick. I mean, you could do worse. So
Yeah.
he's going to get one of Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Dennis Smith, and then one of these random guys, Harry Giles, somebody like that. I mean, that's a good base to start your team off with.
Yeah.
This draft is. I mean, I'm not really big into like drafting or the prospects or whatever, but I'm recognizing all these names that I just keep hearing them. Like this draft more than any. I couldn't even probably hit the top 10 prospects.
Huh.
Wait, you are or aren't?
I'm normally not into like knowledgeable at all, but now like I feel like people keep talking about this draft. Like there's so many names that could be like franchise changing.
But really, after that 10th spot, maybe up to 12th, I don't know any of these guys afterwards, other than the random people that I've seen an article pop up every now and then. After those top 12 picks, you might as well trade out of the draft.
You guys haven't mentioned Josh Jackson either. He's really good.
Yep.
I always look at
he's
Kansas for some reason.
Well, I mean, they have good players that come out of there, obviously.
Hmm.
I mean, Josh Jackson, I mean, Kansas number 2 team. He's I think their leading scorer too. So as a rookie, he's doing pretty good. He's 6'8". Him,
Kind of
Jason
reminds me of
Tatum.
Wiggins a bit.
Yeah, I would say it's clearly better basketball player though, just judging by his assist numbers. But
Mhm.
I mean, who knows? His free
So the
throw
only way
shooting
is up
sucks.
for the Hawks at least.
Yeah, the
I mean,
only.
it's only gonna get better.
I hope he does the smart thing, takes one of them good point guards, because there's pros and cons to all 3 of them. I think the clear best one is probably the kid from Washington, but their team sucks, so you have to ask yourself, like, how good is he really? But
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball looks really good. But because of the way the sim is, they don't really allow you to get a guy who's like a double-double assist person. So maybe that strength is a little bit muted, kind
Yeah.
of.
Well, I mean, Chris Paul is still really good in a sense.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna have to head off now anyway because it's like 20 past midnight here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Can we fix
But
Westbrook?
thank you very much. Sorry.
Can we just fix Westbrook, please?
What's
What
going on
do I
with Westbrook?
Nothing.
He's not scoring much, is he?
He's
20 points a game. What the F?
and 6
Yeah.
assists and 5 rebounds.
I don't know.
His real life stats are 30
I wish I could help.
and 10.
Didn't he just
How
get
has
a
he
raise
done since I
too?
made sure he was a point guard?
I haven't really played
Can't
many
remember.
games, like 1 or 2 games, but the same basically.
Because you asked me to check on him, so I did. He was like his primary and secondary slots were both shooting guard, which
Yeah,
is
his
not
minutes
what
have
they should have been,
gone up.
obviously. They've gone up, yeah. Okay.
His minutes.
No, well, hopefully that's
Okay.
yeah. He's really underperforming for some reason. The team isn't, but he is.
Yeah, my team's doing all right.
Yeah.
It's not that
Okay, guys.
easy.
All right. That's the end of the
What were you saying?
podcast.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up. Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, we've actually got, if you look down, I don't know if the viewers can see, we actually have one viewer. I wonder who that mysterious lonely person is.
It's probably us. Now.
It's probably magic.
Yeah, let's hope we get more than we get more than one person listening to the recording of this. I won't post it instantly because
Jay-Z,
Billy King's
Walt,
got the other half.
James K, Billy King, Spike Lee, and Brian are all on right now.
Sons of bitches, and they're not even here.
Jay-Z said, this is probably him. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting that first pick.
You said you're not gonna post it right away.
No, because Billy King has the first half recorded because we did the first half of this podcast
Oh, right.
2 days ago. So I'll give my recording to him, and then we can just bookend them.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
Okay,
you guys
guys.
have a great rest of your night.
Yeah,
Yep.
you too. See you guys.
All right, later. Bye.
Bye.